So during lockdown, I've just tried to be positive about the situation. So making the most of that quality family time and taking up new skills and hobbies that I probably wouldn't have normally gone for. So recently I've been doing some paintings. I mean, they're not the best, but that's the whole point of trying new things out during this lockdown. I've also been able to focus on my university work a bit more, so that's an extra positive. And also I've been working in retail 2 days a week. So for me, I think it's just having them sort of tasks to do that help me take my mind off it, have a focus, and then it allows me to be positive about what's going on.
I tried to complete my uni work quite early on in lockdown so that I wasn't rushing to complete deadlines and getting stressed, because uni work can be stressful enough as it is. That then left me a lot more time to do things I really, really enjoy, like baking and reading and writing. Lockdown kind of threw a spanner in the works with my job though. I work as a change maker at Marjon and I create content for their social media platforms. And I didn't have anyone to create content with, so I've collaborated with the people at work, and we are now going to create a kind of at-home series of things that people wish they'd known, or the skills people wish they had before they moved to university, to give those people who are preparing for their first year something to do and something to focus on, besides kind of the worries of not being able to take their exams. And I think that's really important, that if you can, you support other people's mental health as well as your own.
So I think myself as a third year going into lockdown was difficult, not just for myself but for all my colleagues within the third year. We had this big dissertation project, the biggest project you'll do at uni, and you have to do it at home in lockdown. But I think it helped me personally have something to work towards day in, day out. I would set up a routine. I would have set hours where I'd work. I'd set hours where I'd have a break. Go and get my daily exercise, eat properly. So personally, it was brilliant to have such a big project to work towards whilst everything around the world was going on. And you couldn't read too much into that. It was just a case of you had to put all your energy into this final honours project. And for me, this documentary that I made, a 3-part series on Plymouth Parkway, was just, it came at the right time in a strange sense, and my lockdown experience was, my mental health benefited greatly from having this project to work towards.
One thing that the lockdown has taught me is the importance of having a routine. I think that it's really good to have a routine, as you'll know what you're going to do ahead of the day. You can also set yourself different tasks, which I find really helpful. And once you've completed those tasks, you can tick them off and say that you've done them. One other thing that I found has really helped me is going out for my daily exercise. I found that this clears my head and makes me really happy for the rest of the day.
I found lockdown has had a very strange effect on my productivity. Either I've had brilliant days where I've done nothing but work incredibly hard and get a lot done, or days where I can't do anything and I just want to sit on the sofa and watch telly. It's quite fascinating to see how many days I get either side. Most of the time I want to just sit on the telly at this point, now that I've almost finished my university work. But now that my personal projects are coming in a little bit more, I know that I've actually got the time to do it, and that's quite freeing in a way. I know that I can actually put the work in to do things that I know I wouldn't usually have the time to do, as I've been furloughed. I'm not going to work. So I can actually put the time aside to get some things that I'm passionate about done, take some new avenues, and get some more exciting stuff done.
The way I've been dealing with the lockdown is just trying to keep myself busy. I've been watching a lot of films, doing some arts and crafts, a lot of puzzles, just anything to pass the time really. But the main thing I've been doing is writing. I run a theatre blog, and even though the theatres are all closed at the moment due to the pandemic, there's still a lot to talk about. The theatre industry is really struggling because they just can't perform, and they're losing a lot of money and not getting an awful lot of support. So I've been using my blog to shine a light on the industry by doing interviews with creatives and performers about how they're dealing with it and their hopes for when the theatres are finally allowed to reopen.
Yeah, it has been hard. Since the closure of universities due to COVID-19, it's been a struggle mainly because from solely working on my university work, I've gone to working 40 hours a week, as well as encompassing that university work. So that's been really difficult at times and been quite stressful. I think the big thing that's helped me cope is talking to my family. We're quite close, so we can sort of find the light in the doom and the gloom at times, which is really helpful. And the lecturers also have been really helpful in clearing up any adjustments to assessments, any questions that we've had really quickly. So that's been really helpful during this time. And hopefully we can all come back together in September and continue the course properly. So
I've been in lockdown in a little flat with no garden, which actually hasn't been as bad as it might sound. I'm really, really lucky that I live near some really beautiful walks, and I've been making the most of those by taking up running. It's something that I'd never tried before, and to be honest, I was really, really nervous. But I downloaded an app on my phone which sets beginners' targets and goals each week, which I have been managing to achieve, and I'm definitely seeing some progress. It's something that I found really helps my mental health. I'm achieving something, I'm getting outside in the fresh air, and I'm also doing some physical exercise. So that's how I've been looking after my mental health during these really strange times.
Hey guys, as well as a student at Marjon, I'm one of the many key workers around the country. My hours have significantly increased over the past 10 weeks. Obviously due to coronavirus, we need to supply many items for everyone coming to shop. As well as that, I've had to do a lot of work, uni work, DC proposals that I've just handed in recently. And it's been very tough, but overcame it all, going for walks, staying switched on, talking to someone at times. And it's been very tough, but it's finally done. And I invite you all to think positive, and we'll overcome this together.